All right, we're back in action. Episode 3 of the Under the Chin podcast. I'm Josh, joined here with Abe and Hector, and we got a card to break down. We saw a awesome card to end the year. Little bit of an anticlimactic ending to the main event, so we'll start there and then we'll go over some of the cool shit. Um, Guys, what did you think of the main event? What did you think of how it ended, and what did you think of what we saw?
Guys, I hate to say it, but I have to say it. Like Abe was saying that this car was gonna suck and this and that, but I told you guys this is gonna be a
It,
banger.
it was
I was
fire.
and I was damn right. Man, I knew it was gonna be a great card. I
Yeah,
loved it. I loved every
yeah, it was a big disappointment. Big disappointment with the main event.
main event.
Yep, Kobe. I don't know, man. Uh, just let us down.
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't know, man.
it's one of
It's
those
just
fights that it's like I hope he has another good one in him because
it's
based
just
on the past two performances, it's like, man, what are we seeing?
Yeah, who did I
yeah.
tell this to, man? It wasn't you guys. It was my buddy Dustin. I said, dude, the problem with Colby is not that he's not a good fighter. He is a great fighter. He was a former interim champ and went on a what like a 7-8 fight win streak, whatever that was, um, and made it look good. Robbie Lawler, obviously, this was back in the day. RDA, just top guys, man. They made it look easy. And then now, after the persona change and all that other stuff, it's one of those where he's been living too much of that like fake
He's a
lifestyle.
pressure.
He's
He's a
been
pressure. He
training.
puts he puts too much pressure on himself, and now he's feeling it. And
Yeah,
plus, he's way up there, like you're
yeah,
saying,
he's
his
in his own
twilight,
head. Yeah, he needs to just
30,
come back to Kobe Covington. He's too much right
38.
now of 37. Yeah.
37.
No, he's 36. 36. He's going to be 37.
Mm,
But yeah, man, he
Yeah.
just wasted his prime just sitting on the sidelines, just
yeah.
waiting for another big fight, waiting for like after the first fight he had with Kamaru was great. That was
Mm,
a an amazing fight. Although it ended with him getting finished, he put up a great fight. It was pretty. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was pretty much tied going into that whatever it was, fourth round, I think. Um, or was the fifth? I can't remember. But the second fight, same thing, another good fight, man. And it's just ever since then he beat Jorge. Jorge had nothing for him, and it's just he's just been sitting waiting too long, man. And
mm.
obviously you've seen what happened with goddamn who just fought? Chandler. Chandler
Yeah.
took all them years off. He just looked lost in there.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, ring rust isn't real. I think it is rust. It is real, man.
Yeah, it has to
Yeah,
be real. I mean, again, we
yeah,
wouldn't know anything about that. We never stepped in an octagon, but you have to imagine that when you're in the groove of things, like when you're Joaquin Buckley fighting 4 times in a year, that feeling stays familiar with you. Like by the time you're fighting your
yeah,
fourth fight in a year, it's your fourth fight. But if you're taking a year between fights, or longer than a year in Colby's case, it has to you have to like unfamiliarize yourself with that feeling, and then when it comes it probably feels not new because you've been there before, but it's one of those things where human beings, that's not something that a normal human does, get locked in a cage and you have to fight somebody. So,
yeah.
that has to be something where you really have to be mentally prepared for it. And if it's been a while, I mean, I know what happens when I've done something, even if it really anything, like it almost feels new to you if you haven't done it in a while. So I would have to imagine that ring rust has to be a thing. But yeah, I mean it's sad to see because my first Colby fight that I watched live was when he beat Tyron Woodley, and I understand that this was after Tyron Woodley eclipsed the hump in terms of his career. But it impressed me. He finished him. He like snapped his rib or something like that. So it was
Mm.
like, oh, this guy's awesome. And then he's getting going crazy on the mic. And I was really excited to see like, oh, what's this guy gonna continue to do? And he like he said he won some fights, but I've mostly seen him lose. Uh, so it's like, it's disappointing to see it. And you always like personalities in the sport. Like, I said on the other episode, whether you love him or hate him, he brings attention to it. And it's just cool to have characters like that. But, it helps a lot with the character if they win.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
it also like you go into losing. I mean, there's a certain way of losing. If you look at Peter Yan, was
mm,
losing all them fights, but he was really winning those fights.
hmm
It was like people were like, okay, he could have won that. He won that round. It was controversial. Kobe's just losing and flat out losing.
yeah.
There's no argument like, damn, he won this. Kobe, I don't know if you've seen, he came out with the video. He was like, yeah, man, well, the cut, yeah, played a part, but it wouldn't have been stopped in Vegas. He's like, I was just starting to get in the groove. I thought I had it 1-1 going in the third round. I was like, come on, bro.
No.
Like, I get it, man. I'm your boy, dude, but come on. Obviously, he's
Yeah,
got to keep the
I hear
persona
John
up.
Jones say something smart. Say he said something really really interesting, like to me. He said something like, "Oh, he shouldn't be taking fights if he, especially because he's on a losing streak,
Yeah.
right? He should stop taking fucking like any fight just to please the company." Like he said, he should be smarter with his decisions, especially coming off losses and in this, like at this point of his career, he's not young anymore, and just it gets harder for him, you know.
hmm
And I think he's right. He should just stick to a plan. Like let's say, oh, let's take 3 months off and then start a camp again, and then do the 3 month camp and come back stronger, you know. But I don't know. I don't know what's up with him, to be
Yeah, I
honest.
think I think he's got an
Especially, you know
idea.
why? He's like he got out of, hands down, one of the best camps ever in American Top Team, and he's jumping from camp to camp, and right now he did a camp with who? With Chill Sonnen.
Yeah, Hector just stole my idea. I don't like that.
I'm not saying that
You
Chill
gotta fight it out,
is
bro. You
not a
gotta fight
good
it out.
fighter, or he was not a good fighter, or he knows about the sport, but
Yeah.
I
hmm
No,
mean, you gotta
so
have some sort of stability, right?
well, yeah. I mean, to second that, Hector, Kobe left ATT, which is one of the best gyms in MMA, and he's just been bouncing back. He went to MMA Masters, which he was there for a few years, pretty good, and now he's doing his own. Like literally, he's training in like some warehouse or something. It's Kobe Covington Incorporated,
He's
and
being
he hired all new coaches, new boxing coach, and it's just like guys that haven't worked with any of the UFC guys before. It's
Right.
almost like he's hiring these yes men. It's the same situation with Tony. I'm always
Mm.
telling Hector, I'm like, dude, if Tony were to stop playing around enjoying ATT or something like that, I think it'd help him. Like
Yeah.
seriously, because there's discipline there, and you're working with like a state of the art facility, um, like literally top level training instructors, and obviously they're professionals, but you get like professional sparring partners and all this stuff. Kobe's not real. Who the hell is Kobe sparring with?
and the trainer, the training partners themselves. I mean, you got like in all divisions, top 10 in all divisions in American Top Team.
Yep.
Who the fuck is he? Who the fuck is he training with? Like we don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
Chael.
Nobody. Hey, I don't know. But see, the thing with Kobe is he's just his persona ruined ATT for him because he got
Yeah.
into it with Dustin,
Yeah,
and it's yeah, it was cool to see and stuff that he's into like a beef with another fighter because it kind of sets up him and Dustin at 170. Never happened, and it never will happen now because Dustin's talking about that one more fight. But I don't know, man. I just want to see Kobe win. I know he's got it in him. I just think he's just not around. He's not training the way he should be like he used to.
hmm
His cardio just he looked like he was gassing out in that fight. Um, and to be fair, he that cut happened like right over his eyelid
Yeah.
or on his eyelid, and dude, that blood that was just coming from there was just crazy. So I'm assuming like it was getting in his eye and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It just you could tell it was a problem. So I don't know. We don't know how much that affected him. We can give the benefit of the doubt and say, yeah, that was it. He couldn't see out of his left eye or his right eye because blood was in there the entire time. That's why he kept doing this, doing this.
hmm
Who knows, man? We'll never know. I do think that he should just start taking just fights
Yeah.
instead of searching for fights and be like, okay, I deserve top level guys. Um, hell, give him Kamaru again.
I
Why
I
not?
mean, well, it's one of those things where if you're Colby, I mean, as much as the fans would like to see Colby versus Kamaru 3, if you're Colby, hey, you're 0 for 2 against this guy. I think it's about time that he take, I mean, before this fight, I would have said Buckley would have been a good matchup for him, but maybe I don't even know, maybe Carlos Prates maybe would be I
That's what
mean,
I've seen. But dude,
that's
if he loses to Carlos, it's a wrap, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. And
There's
the thing
no
is, Carlos is a scary bastard. He
yeah.
puts people's
A
lights out
fucking
like
sniper,
crazy.
man. It's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
sniper.
It's like one of those, man. I wanna save my guy. So let's feed him some talent. Like I want a counter to go in there and let's take Tony. Let's get the octagon time in. Get Tony, get Nick back in there, and then start going up. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
add it. It's almost like Kobe's got to do the same thing because he's been so inactive.
Man.
And Connor's preached this before in the octagon. It's inactivity, man. When he won
Yeah.
that fight against Cowboy, he's preaching activity. Please give me activity because you need it.
Hmm.
Yeah, the thing is that this is like Dana always says, it's a young man's sport, and Kobe is not getting any younger, and and
Hmm.
and Tony isn't getting any younger either. So I think we're starting to see uh the start of like
The next
all
generation.
all our heroes, like our first
Yeah,
the people that we were fans, we're gonna start like seeing them retiring. It's
yeah.
that time. We gotta admit it.
I refuse to admit and let Tony go.
Man, Tony is on a 20 losing streak. No man.
It's like an eight. It's like an eight fight. Dude. Hey, Yoel Romero is still fighting. He's at 40, 44, 45 years old.
Hey, speaking about
Yeah,
people turning back the clock, we had a few veterans get some real highlight, real stuff on the card. On the prelims, the feature prelim, we had Michael Johnson knock out Otman Azaitar in brutal fashion 2 minutes into the second round. What'd you guys think of that fight? Did you expect that from Michael Johnson? And what did you think about that feature prelim?
I think this guy Saitar, he lost his confidence because
Hmm.
he's on a three losing streak, like
Yep.
all KOs.
Yeah.
And before that, he was on a tear. He was undefeated. He was knocking everybody out. And I think it's just the fact that he's not confident in himself anymore. And
Hmm.
I don't think Michael Johnson isn't getting any better. I just think he fought a guy like that.
Yeah,
It's
he's
not
down
it's
on
not it's
himself.
not all there, you know.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. That's the same thing with Volkanovski.
Mm.
That's it's the same thing that goes. I mean, yeah, he's a world champion and stuff, but I mean, dude, he's got knocked out what his last three fights, two fights, two
Well,
fights,
not
two fights.
yeah, two fights. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This is one of those where it's going to be interesting to see what comes of 2025.
Yeah, 2025 is going to be one of the most interesting years in recent memory in terms of all the potential matchups, who's at the top and who's trying to get there. I know, is it official? Is JDM versus Usman official?
No,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
that's
so.
official. I think that's
Uh,
just a rumor.
yeah, I think I might have saw a fake tweet about that. Yeah, I think that is going to be the fight, though. I don't know who else.
Yeah.
Because I know that Buckley called out a few people, Usman being one of them, but I think they said that Usman is already in talks to have a fight, and I
That was
believe
that
that is
was
going to be
yeah.
with Della Maddalena.
That was whack though. Like you're gonna call out. You just beat Colby, who's ranked sixth.
Mm.
What's Usman ranked? He can't be ranked top five.
Two.
No
Is he
way,
two?
dude. What?
So,
Hold on.
Not a chance.
Usman is three.
Okay.
three.
All right. Good call out. Good call out. I did not think, with all the inactivity that Usman's had, I did not think he was still that high up there.
So if we're looking at the rankings here at welterweight, Joaquin Buckley jumped from nine to six. And then the top five, we got Sean Brady, Jack Della Maddalena at four, Usman at three, Shavkat at two, Leon at one, and Bilal the champ. So
What
Joaquin
What's
Buckley,
Kobe?
what
Colby
about
dropped to
Brady?
nine.
Damn, they really did put him at nine. I figured maybe because they cut, they would have, maybe just bumped him up a little bit. That's okay.
Man, how you guys like Brady versus Buckley?
I mean, they're right next to each other in the rankings. That fight
I
seems to be
like
the
that
one that
one.
makes sense.
Tom Brady wants Usman.
Well, the way I see it, if Usman and Jack Della Maddalena are going to be fighting, Shavkat's going to get the title shot. I really the only fights that I see for Joaquin Buckley, if he wants to fight one down, Ian Gary is 7, so they could potentially rebook that fight. And then he has Sean Brady above him, and maybe Leon Edwards. I mean, obviously that would be the one that's most advantageous. I think based on their performances against Colby. And again, MMA math doesn't make sense, but based on that, Joaquin Buckley against Leon Edwards seems like a favorable matchup for Buckley. But Sean Brady would be a good fight for him, and I would love to see that Ian Gary fight. So really, those three are what I see for Buckley. Which one do you guys want to see the most out of those for Buckley?
Leon Edwards has a fight at the in England.
Do we know who?
I remember seeing something about it. I'm looking now, but he has a fight in. He's main eventing that fight. Sean Brady. Okay, so Sean Brady's calling him out. I could have sworn I've seen him. Obviously, a rumor,
Hmm.
but he's definitely fighting in London
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
I think he has to fight there.
Maybe Sean Brady. I
A
don't know.
must.
I think Sean Brady finishes. I mean, Leon Edwards finishes Sean Brady like without a doubt.
Hmm.
There's Sean Brady got finished by Bilal.
Yeah, he
Yeah, man.
did.
Yeah, but also styles make fights. Like Sean Brady wasn't able to take down. He didn't even try to take down the law because he knows the law
Bilal's
has
a
a
beast. Yeah,
he has a ridiculous takedown defense. And we saw what Bilal did to Leon. He did whatever
yeah.
the fuck he wanted
He
with him.
poked
So
his eyes, is what he
I
did.
think Brady beats Leon, especially with that the last performances from Brady. He looked really good too.
Yeah, against Gilbert Burns.
And who else? Gastelum. He submitted
Yeah.
Gastelum. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing here. I think Sean Brady beats Leon.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Pump the
bet the
brakes.
house on that. I'm not saying that with a lot of confidence, but if I'm picking, I'm picking Sean Brady in that fight.
All right, here's what I want
Same.
you to do. I want you to keep tabs. All right, start one of me, you, and Hector, and we're gonna start keeping tabs of who wins.
All
Okay.
right, all
All
right.
right. I'll write it
I like
down.
that. Yeah, I like that
Somebody,
idea.
somebody keep the record here.
So starting
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Starting now, because the last few picks we haven't been looking.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
the
yeah. But okay, Sean Brady, I got Leon Edwards for sure, 100%. I think knockout. He finishes him.
so who do you guys see Carlos Prates coming back against?
I think that it's generated enough buzz where he'll be fighting Colby Covington at
I
9.
would love it. I would love to. I mean, again, I think Carlos Prates wins that fight by knockout.
Whoa.
I know. I'm sorry, but
You're
it's
a
a
fraud.
I,
Fraud Kobe
I've
fan. Fraud.
I've just I've been on the Carlos Prates hype train since the beginning. I just
Listen, man,
saw
is he really smoking cigarettes and stuff
You
outside?
yes,
said
he's
practice
smoking
against who?
cigarettes. Dude, when you hear of a professional athlete who smokes cigarettes, you just have to
Man,
respect it.
Mallorca. You remember that boxer, Nicaraguan boxer? He used to fucking smoke even in the ring. And he was a world
Damn.
champion. He fought De La Hoya. He fought all these guys.
It's like the
Yeah.
1960s in the NFL. People are smoking cigarettes in the locker room, but now we got Carlos Prates knocking people out and then taking a swig of whiskey on top of the cage and then smoking a
Yeah.
cigarette right after the fight. It's incredible.
So wild,
I got
man.
little loves. You guys were talking about Prates versus who?
Colby.
Kobe? Yeah, I think Prates beats his
Okay,
shot
but
on.
we also got to come in that Kobe came in on 3 weeks. He
Uh-huh.
wasn't training. You got to really take that into consideration. You give him a full training
Yeah.
camp, he's up there. He's got cardio, wrestling. Granted, Buckley was really good. He stuffed every takedown, all but one, I think. So you got to give him credit for that. But ultimately, I think if Colby has a full training camp with an actual gym, which he's probably not going to do, I think he can climb his way back. I think he can scrape up a 3-fight win streak.
Oh shit.
And
Give him Carlos, give him Ian Gary, and then give him I don't know, give him Sean Brady.
I think I have a better idea. I'm gonna play the matchmaker here. How about we do Carlos Prates versus Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal's 10, Prates is 13. And then we give Colby either Vincente Luque or Michael Venom Page.
Luque was looking really good, man.
He was.
Yeah. Give MVP is gonna lose to no. He's gonna no. He's all right. Let's talk about that one. Well, okay, let's give Kobe Luque, but let's talk about the Pirate and
MVP.
MVP.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. Is that booked? I
yeah,
think it is
Yeah,
booked.
look,
Yeah, yeah,
official.
Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi
yeah.
or yeah. Give me his name again.
Shar Bullet, Shar Putin Magomedov.
Shara Bullet. Me and Hector were sending each other pictures of this dude before he started. It was this, I'm sure you've seen the picture, ripped,
Uh,
you know. And then we come to find out he weighed in and didn't look nothing like that. So yeah, we got fooled, man. We thought he was gonna be a beast, and then it comes out that he can't fight in the United States, so he can only
yeah.
fight overseas, which kind of sucks. And it's like, how can you even think about becoming a champion when you can only defend overseas? We don't. The
Right.
UFC doesn't really go overseas all that much, um, unless he's just going to fight one time a year at that Abu
Hmm.
Dhabi card. I don't see it. Plus, I don't know, man. You start getting into higher level, higher ranked guys. He already proved that he can't wrestle.
Mm.
He's you would think that being from or he's Dagestani, right?
Mm.
He would go train up there at Eagle with Habib, Islam, Usman, and all them. But I think he's like more focused on kickboxing and stuff, which is
Yeah.
cool to see. You know, whatever double spinning back fist, whatever. A win's a win. But I expect this guy to come out and dominate, man. And I don't
Mm.
know if he's gonna, it's gonna be a fun fight between him and MVP because of their backgrounds. Like
Yeah.
Hector Styles make fights, but ultimately, who do you guys have?
I'm thinking MVP. I'm thinking the level of experience and with the striker versus striker aspect of it. Again, if Char Bullet pulls it off, wouldn't be blown out of the water. But if I'm picking, I'm going MVP in that one.
I'm gonna have to go with Shara.
Okay,
All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
we got to
I
write
think
this one down.
MVP. I think MVP is a little older now, and
Mm,
and he relies on striking and movement and all that. So we know that the as older you get slower and you get like
mm.
less. Your reactions are not the same, and I think Shara is gonna expose him.
all right, take that down. Write that down. We got Shara. You got MVP.
See,
Mm.
I think that yeah, Shara ultimately wins, whether it be by decision. It's gonna be by decision. 3-round fight. I got Shara Bullet. Shara Managomedov. Bullet. Charette. You know who needs to come back is uh uh Jesus Christ. Mago Red
Oh
Shirapilov.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember you
Savit,
talking about him.
Savit.
The beat. Yep.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not coming back. He
Yeah,
became
no,
a
he's
Yeah,
not.
doctor
he
or
said he's
something
not
like
coming
that.
back.
Well, he got sick, man. He got sick. And yeah, he ended up becoming a doctor. But yeah, that was one that I wanted to see him and Yair.
Yeah,
Mm.
And it never happened because Yair was ducking him.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, he was scared. That would be the champ at 145 if he was here. He would go all out for his fights. He would gas out towards the end, but there was a lot of people that just couldn't keep up with him for
Hmm.
those close to 15 minutes.
He had a really close fight with Cater.
Yep, that was a banger.
A lot of people thought Cater won.
Hater's in a
Yeah,
lot of banger fights.
Yeah,
Caters, yeah, it's all because he gets there and
he
throws
brings
down,
it all the
man.
time, man.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
that New England.
Fucking
What do you call
fighter.
himself? New England Mafia or whatever he calls
Cartel.
himself. Cartel. There you go. I wanted to buy me a hat like that.
Yeah, this guy. Who's the other
Yeah.
guy there? Rob Font.
Yep.
He's
Yeah,
a beast, man.
Rob Font is a beast.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he's training there anymore though.
I'm not sure.
I think he's training up at Extreme Couture. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know why I think that, but
I seen Cater in his corner for the last fight. I don't know if
might
it
be
was
on him.
just a matter of just being friends and
Yeah. Yeah,
that
I
was
guess
it.
you're right. Yep. Okay. Um, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a good time. Usyk and Fury this weekend. Josh, I'm not sure if you dabble into boxing. Who do we
I
got
do
here?
not. I do not, but I'm gonna go Usyk based on the
Hector?
last fight.
What do we got, Hector?
Yeah, we'll see.
Man, what? Fury is coming in 3 months, no talking to his wife. He promises you will see the real him this weekend.
I
So
mean, he lost to Ngannou.
He did.
yeah,
I got to watch that one,
yeah,
and yeah, yeah, I
He
thought
lost
so.
to Francis. Yeah,
yeah. Okay, yep, you got me there. I got Usyk.
All right,
yeah.
so we're all in agreement. I don't know how much boxing you guys watch, but I watch like zero, so my opinion
Oh,
doesn't
I get
carry
in
much
boxing.
weight.
Yeah,
But
Actually, I started watching like combat sports because I watched my first fight. I'm gonna tell you guys. The first fight I ever watched was Pacquiao versus Marquez. I don't know if it was the second or the third, but I got instantly hooked into it. Like I became a fan instantly. And since then, I've been following. I think I'm more of a MMA fan now, but I like boxing too. When there's big fights, like the Spence versus what's the name? Is this guy Crawford?
yeah,
Like
mm-hmm.
that type of fights. Like obviously when Canelo fights, I was watch. When I mean big fights, man.
Yep,
That's about
yep.
it. Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm more into MMA now.
yeah,
yeah.
it's one of those
Boxing's pretty
things.
cool.
Every time I watch boxing, it's a combat sport, so I dig it in a certain sense. But every time I watch boxing, I'm like, man, I wish they could take each other down. Or like, man, I wish I could see some ground and pound. Or man,
Yeah,
I wish I could see some
but you
elbows.
Fucking
know
kick,
what?
yeah.
But then we're watching MMA and we're like, dude, just get up and bang. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like boxing, dude. It's I can't remember the first fight I watched, but yeah, I've been watching since back in the day, since like the TVs were just big, bro, like big square TV, ugly TVs. You start watching it with the family. All the Mayweather's fighting, getting pay per view.
Yeah.
Um, when Al De La Hoya used to fight, we used to get that one all the time. Cotto. Um, then now you got Canelo, but that's another one. We always get together for Canelo fights,
I'd watch a
and
Canelo
now
fight.
yeah, and it's good, man. It's a good time. The only thing I don't like about boxing is that it's too like political in a sense. Like if it doesn't make sense for say like Golden Boy or something like that, they're not
Mm.
going to let their fighter engage to see who's better. It's not like MMA where like the best fight the best. In
Yes,
Right.
it's a
boxing, you
lot of
get the best fight. Yeah, the best fight the best.
it's a lot of
Never.
politics, man. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
he's this guy Turkey.
Oh,
He's
he's
been
throwing
making the
money.
big
Yeah,
fights. Yeah, like the
but that's because he's paying people. That's why.
better be Bivol fight. Like nobody was thinking about that fight until he made it. He made it happen, man. And he's saving boxing, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because look at what he's doing with Usyk and Fury.
Yeah.
He's paying for all this, dude. Nobody else, and he's paying them a lot.
All right, everyone. Little interruption. Hector had to dip, had some business to attend to, but Abe and I are going to finish this off. And let's talk about some of the finishes. So we started the card with I think three straight decisions. Let me see here. Yeah, so oh no, four straight decisions. Okay, yeah. So we started the card with four straight decisions. The Davy Grant versus Ramon Tavares fight, that was a good fight. That went the distance. Um, but we had Sean Woodson get a knockout with 2 seconds left in the first round. Did you catch that one?
I didn't watch that one. No,
So
I seen
Sean
the highlights though.
Oh yeah, I mean he had him on skates right near there the end, and then started with the ground and pound with 2 seconds left. It was a really impressive victory. He only has one loss. I mean, he looks like a guy that could really give a lot of people problems with his lanky, tall frame at that featherweight division. I think he's like 6'2" or something like that. Like he is tall for the division. So that's a guy that's going to give a lot of problems. Somebody that Hector highlighted last week that really put on a performance was that Yoel Alvarez against Jakar Close.
Oh yeah.
That was
Oh
holy
yeah.
moly. And 100% finish rate with 22 victories.
Yeah, but now he wants to move up to 155.
Ah, I see. I see. Who do we see him going up against? Are they going to give him? I mean, you're thinking give him a ranked guy now.
Oh, yeah, 21 wins, 21 finishes. He's got to be ranked. I mean, he's made that dude look pretty easy. So the only problem is you go from 45, you're cutting all that weight. I think you said he walks around heavy.
Mm,
Um, so cutting all that weight is a problem, but you got to remember the power you have as a bigger guy at 45. You're now at a regular weight division at 155 where the guys are your size or even bigger than you.
mm.
You know what I mean? So that power doesn't translate it over.
Well, say he did fight this fight at lightweight.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah. It says
Was it a short notice fight or how did that even
I don't
happen?
know any. I mean, I should have known. I mean, I recognize the names on both guys, but I didn't do much research going into it.
I'm still standing on that. I don't know, man. You start getting into mixed at 155. That's always been the killer division for the
Yeah.
UFC. You got straight killers, top five, even top 10. You can say you got straight killers.
Yeah.
So throwing him in the mix, he looks great, but is he going to look great against them? I mean, 155. What do you got? Who's ranked? I need to start having like papers with all these
Yeah.
rankings.
Yeah, we
I'm
should.
gonna I'm gonna make my own war room. I'm gonna be all it's literally just look up and have everything.
I need a board
Uh,
right here, like just reference.
yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you give him like a rank guy 55. I don't know, man. It'll cause him some problems.
Mm,
But he might hold up well. Again, 21 wins and 21 finishes,
22.
and 22
Yeah,
is
that was his
impressive.
22nd.
It's impressive. But you also got to remember that those 22 or 20. I think he's what was he like 4-0 in the UFC, something like that.
Let's see here. And he has been looks like he's been in the UFC for quite a bit here, actually. It looks like he made
Oh,
his debut in 2019.
how many fights since then?
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven,
Jesus
eight,
Christ.
nine. That was his ninth fight in the
Okay.
UFC.
All right. I'm late to the party.
Yeah, so am I. We've been
I'm
sleeping on
late
this
to the
guy.
party, dude.
We have been
Okay. Yeah.
sleeping
He
on
needs
this
to
guy.
he needs a rank guy.
Yeah. Oh
100%.
yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I don't know. I thought this was maybe his like fifth fight in the UFC and went undefeated. Because usually when you have guys come in, like you look at Habib, um, he only fought, I don't know how many times in the UFC. I think six,
Mm,
seven. And before that, all those guys are just pretty much nobodies. You know what I mean?
yeah.
He can come in with an impressive record and have a great. That's how boxing is, dude. You fight all these professional guys. I mean, look at Jake Paul. Look at his record.
Yeah.
You don't know who that is, and you're just looking at a record. Okay, I don't know what he is now, maybe 5-1 or something like that. You look
Mm,
at that, you're like, oh, he's pretty good. But I mean, look at who he's fighting: Nate
right.
Robinson, Ben Askren. I mean, guys like that. I mean, but obviously it's different. But I think you should stick at. Oh man, because he looked good then at 55. I didn't think that was a 55.
So it looks like all of his fights were at lightweight, but he has missed weight twice.
So why was he? No, there can't be, bro, because he was saying that 45 was too much of a cut, and he just wanted to stay at 55.
Hold on, hold on. Let me see details here. I'm looking at all of his UFC fights. Lightweight, 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 missed weight, lightweight, missed weight. Yeah, yeah, all of his fights have been at lightweight.
So what? He wants to move up to 170?
I guess so.
No way, dude. What?
I mean, I didn't hear
He's got
any of
the
the I didn't hear any
yeah.
news about him moving weight classes, so this is
He
news
said
to
it.
me.
He said it in his post fight
Oh,
conference
okay.
and then the octagon, literally. Um, Yeah, he said he wanted to move. They asked Dana, or yeah, they asked Dana about it post fight and the presser, and he was like, "Yeah, we'll see," but he's not really a fan of people jumping classes, as you know.
Well, it looks like he lost his UFC debut in 2019 to Damir Ismagulov, and then his only other loss in the UFC came in 2022 to Arman Sarukian. So,
Okay,
I mean, that's not a bad
yeah,
loss, you know,
no, that's not bad at all.
and he has his three recent fights he beat Mark DeCasey, Elvis Brenner, which he got a performance in the night bonus for, and then he just beat Jakar Close. So, yeah,
Burner's a beast.
yeah, I'm thinking it's gonna have to be a ranked guy for this guy next, especially with the hype of 100% finish rate. Yeah.
I don't see
Um
what's taking him so long to get a rank guy.
yeah, that seems crazy. Maybe punishment for missing weight twice in a row because he missed weight twice in a row, won both of those fights, and then lost to Arman. So when you miss weight two times and then lose the fight that you make weight, it's not
Yeah,
a good look. But he's rattled off three straight. So now I'm thinking it's likely going to be a ranked guy next for Mr. Yoel Alvarez.
Tim
Um,
RDA.
hey, I like that. That sounds like a good fight.
Yep.
So we already touched upon Michael Johnson, but you and I in the chat, we were talking about the guy who Hector and I were hyping up on the last episode, the first fight on the main card, Mr. Navajo Sterling out of City Kickboxing. You were
Yeah,
not impressed, you said.
EKB. EKB. Yeah, I mean, you guys were hyping him up so much, dude, in this last episode we had, and I'm sitting there like, man, what am I watching here? Come on, do something. You know that meme with the stick where you're just like poking the thing? Like, come on, do something.
Do
I'm
more.
just, yeah. I'm like, come on, man. He's got a great physique, man. He looks like a
Yeah,
beast. Like he's just got that face of like a killer.
yeah.
So that's what you want in a guy. Um, but I don't know, man. What's the name of the guy who was fighting?
Tuco Tokos.
Tokos. Yeah, he was like a walking punching bag, dude. He was
Yeah.
just standing there taking a beating. It's like, dude, you could have done more if you really wanted to finish that fight.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if he was just like taking his time or trying to just prove that he can go the distance. I don't know. Um, I was just expecting him to come out and make a big splash for CKB and be like, "Yep, we're coming."
Right. Yeah, especially with getting the finish on Contender Series, you always expect those guys to come into the UFC. It's the same way with that guy we were talking about, that Loner Kavanaugh at flyweight. He gets a crazy knockout on the Contender Series, first knockout of the year, on the season, and then comes in and fights to a decision. But there has to be that one thing. It's this thing that it kind of is like absent from the mind of fans when we have to remember that these people are human. They're human beings that are doing something for the first time, especially making your UFC
Yeah,
debut. I mean, imagine those nerves. I mean, veterans talk about nerves going into a fight. So you can imagine your first time in the big lights, it only being your sixth professional mixed martial arts fight. There might be that element as well. And like you said, maybe I mean, I doubt any fighter wants to go the distance. I mean, if you could put somebody away in the first round, you're going to do it. But,
yeah,
it's those are the fights. If you're gonna have a fight go the distance, you want it to be early in your career. You want to have accrue that kind of octagon time. So it's not necessarily all bad, but yeah, I agree. It wasn't what I was expecting. But that was based off of a Contender Series performance. So I
yeah.
think,
Well, I mean, you come in like getting all these comparisons to Izzy. You're expecting an Izzy fight,
hmm
and I'm talking prime Izzy,
hmm
where he's coming in and just boom, like sniping people out. That's what I was expecting out of Navajo Sterling.
yeah.
Um, that he didn't deliver that, but I mean, he showed he can do 15 minutes,
hmm
which is cool to see. It didn't really. I mean, maybe he started to look like he was gasping at the end just a tad, but he's still new. First time on a actual UFC card,
hmm
so nerves and stuff. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just being too hard on him. I was just like, you guys are hyping him up like the next Izzy, and
Yeah.
he came in here. I was like, this guy's gonna be a beast, and he was, but I expected him to be like quick, like boom, go in there and finish him.
Right. Right. Yeah, I'm excited to see his next performance. Hopefully we don't have to wait too long. It didn't look like he took too much damage in there, so
Yeah.
uh yeah, hopefully his next time out we get to see something special and we get to see him really live up to the hype and potential of the next product out of City Kickboxing.
Yeah, no
Um
more Blood Diamond.
yeah, no more Blood Diamond. Sorry, Blood Diamond. I remember when you said that when you were like I was so high on this guy, like so was I, this undefeated dude. And
Yeah.
when they signed him, he was like 3-0 or something. And I'm
Well,
thinking,
you
oh
come in with yeah, you come in with a name, Blood Diamond.
yeah,
You're coming at this time. CKB was hot.
yeah.
Adesanya was like at his peak,
Mm,
and Oberg was coming, and Oberg made a good impression. He got knocked out, but aside from that, good
yeah.
impression. Um, and then you get Blood Diamond. He just getting manhandled his first fight, second fight, third fight. I'm like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think we have that problem with Sterling. So
Yeah, I'm thinking with Sterling, it's just a matter of time. I think he definitely has what it takes to be something special in the division and hopefully his next fight we see him come into that form, and even more time to prepare and all that kind of stuff. It's I mean, we all love
what's he fighting
undefeated
at?
prospects.
185? No, he's
Yeah.
fighting at 205,
Or
right?
yeah, light heavyweight. Yep, 205. Yep.
Yeah, because I remember talking about him and Oberg.
Yeah.
It's going to be another Marab and Aljo. They're not going to fight each other.
Something tells me I think they would. It seems like
They
that's
can't, dude.
something.
They're literally they train at the same gym, and there's CKB is small. It's not like ATT where you can go train at a
Yeah.
different ATT. There's only
Yeah.
one CKB. There's only one Eugene Behrman.
Yeah.
Um, it's what I mean.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I wonder, they're not going to take it like when they're both just contenders, but I wonder if Olberg's the champ and let's just say Navajo Sterling goes on a crazy run, knocking people out, finishing people. I wonder if they would put like the champ like the thing aside for a championship fight. What Marab and Aljo didn't do. I'm wondering if they would do that under that circumstance.
I think they would. I think CKB. They're fighters, man.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't think they would do that like in a contenders fight. I
Yeah,
don't think
right,
that's
right. Yeah.
yeah.
It
I
just
think
it
if
just
they
wouldn't
have
be.
yeah, if they have no other choice to fight because one of them is a champion, the other one's like up and coming,
Yeah.
like a Marab and Aljo, I think they fight. But if it's like a contender, like all right, you eliminate him, you're done.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah, they're looking out for their own guys.
So then after that, we had Daniel Marcos keep his undefeated record against Adrian Yanez, who has dropped a lot of hype in the past few fights. He had that crazy knockout early in his career,
Mm-hmm.
um, but uh, but not much since. One of those guys who he was like right on the cusp of being like a big name. Like it was one of those names you heard a lot about, and every time he had a fight, it was like, oh, okay, Yanez is fine. Let's see what he could do now. But yeah, wasn't too impressed with that performance. But then the fight after that, hello, people were making the comparisons of the Usman and Masvidal knockout. We had Dustin Jacoby knock
Yeah,
the dog shit out of Vitor Petrino. Man, I mean, when I'm
yeah,
watching
that was
this,
yeah.
well, what,
Go
what
ahead.
were you saying?
Go ahead. I want you to finish this.
Well,
I feel like we're
it
on the same
was
page.
it was one of those things where I always love seeing Dustin Jacoby fight. I don't know what it is about him. It's just like when I see this guy's on the card, I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go. I want to see this guy win. And to knock out, I mean, and again, the guy lost to Anthony Smith, but a guy who came in with a lot of hype on or off the Contender Series. He was undefeated before the Anthony Smith loss. For this to be his second loss, it derails a lot of plans you imagine that he had. But man, for Dustin Jacoby, especially, I mean, he gets a performance of the night bonus. What a way to bounce back from who did he lose to? Yeah, Dominic Reyes. Yeah, after getting knocked out in the first round by Dominic Reyes, what a way to bounce back. What do you think of that one?
Um, I do want to say about Yanez.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When I do bet, I always bet against Yanez and Eric Anders.
Okay.
I just every Anders never fails. He always loses. Um, so now going into the Jacoby, dude, I was watching that man, and I had a parlay going with the other guy.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there like, dude, what are you doing? It was just such
Mm,
a slow fight, dude. It was kind of like the crowd was booing too.
mm.
Um, it was just up until that point, it was very just boring.
Yeah, that came late into the third
Yeah,
round, so we were
yeah, that's
nearing
what I'm
the
saying.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously he's gonna come out and be like, "Oh yeah, man, I had to play it safe, be patient." But I mean, if he didn't get that, I think I don't even know if he wins that fight.
Yeah,
Like yeah,
I don't remember enough. I mean, I guess that's why, it wasn't too impressive. I don't remember enough of who I had it scored for in the first two
yeah,
rounds, or up to that point in the third round, but yeah, yeah, one of those things where I was just happy. Yeah, I didn't have a parlay with Petrino, so I
yeah,
was impartial, but just seeing Dustin Jacoby. I also like the way that Bisping says Dustin Jacoby's name in his British
yeah.
accent. So it's like whenever he's on a card that Bisping's commentating, I'm a little extra excited for him. Uh, but yeah. I want to go watch that one back. I'm curious to see who I would have scored the first two rounds for because I cannot for the life of me remember.
It'll probably put you to sleep. So
Yeah, maybe
watch
maybe
it
I
for bedtime.
yeah.
That's it. There, you'll start dozing off, man. Yeah, just like I said, man, it came at the very last few minutes of the third round.
hmm
If he doesn't get that, I don't know if it goes his way. Um, that was just such a very close, and it just wasn't an entertaining fight. Um, I think, yeah, he got a knockout, but what, dude? They're light heavyweights.
Yes, yep.
Yeah, so I mean, you kind of expect it with heavier guys. That one punch can end it all. Light heavyweight or heavyweight divisions.
hmm
Just one, they got one punch power. They're big guys. They're cutting so much weight. So once they rehydrate, they're back at 220. Look at Poltano. He was at light heavyweight, cutting all that, and then literally the next day he'd be back at like 230.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's one of those, man. Good that he got a knockout, but I don't know if that means that he's like, a contender.
Yeah, no, I'm not I don't think we're gonna see a Dustin Jacoby title run anytime
It
soon, but but
was
it's
cool
one.
to see. Yeah,
Yeah, one of
yeah,
those things where it's like, for whatever reason, I like to see that guy win.
yeah.
But speaking of third round knockouts, the fight after that, we have Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. And while the performance, it was a pretty good fight. We had two nut shots. I think Bruno Silva got a point taken. Um,
I don't know. They didn't take a point,
didn't they? I
or
thought
did
I
they?
thought there was one fight where they took a
They
point. I
were
can't
talking
remember.
about. Actually, I think they might have been because he that was a second cup kick,
Yeah.
and he when he that second one, I think he poked his eye too.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Or wait, no.
Um,
Wasn't that Yanez that got the nut shot and the eye poke at the same time? Because I think I saw him tweeting about it. Because he like looked like he was doing the Michael Jackson, like holding his John and then holding his eye. Like,
I can't remember, dude. I do know that Manel got eye poked.
well, he got nut kicked hard. I thought
Yeah,
because
it
remember
like
he
because they
was
went on
down
the
for a
side of the
while.
cup. Yeah, he
Yeah.
like yeah, yep. I think that was a typical Manel cop. Aside from what we seen when he fought the dude that got cut,
Yeah. Makayev.
Makayev. Manel cop is a beast.
hmm
I think that the showboating he does is super cool for us to see.
Yeah.
I do think that he might get caught doing that.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah. It's
because that dude at that weight class, they're so fast, dude.
yeah.
But he's got super fast reflexes, so he's just ducking
hmm
every time, bro. So he's super quick, and I'm definitely every time an El Couch fight, I'm definitely tuning in. He's
Yes.
just got almost like that stardom. It all started with him and Mokaev, and him going after Adesanya, the what is interview, the post fight interview.
That was so
Literally,
funny.
I'd like to see him and Kai Kara France.
Yeah. I mean, you need to make that at this point. I mean, they're
Dude,
beefing
they've been
hard.
going at it for the last however long it's been. Because weren't they were set up to fight each other, right? Or something.
I
And
think
he pulled
so.
out. Yeah, Kai Kara France pulled out because
Yeah.
something. Ever since then, he's been just on dirt with him with Kai.
He's been
Um,
he's been beefing with the entire city kickboxing. He
yeah, dude,
he does not stop.
literally. So dude, that should be the next fight to make. I don't
Yeah.
know what Manel's ranked. Um, I think he's he's got to be at least top 10, right?
Let's see. All right, it looks like Manel Kopp jumped up 3 ranks to number 6, and Kai
There you
Car
go.
France is currently sitting at number 4. So it makes perfect
Oh,
sense to make that fight.
dude, you got to make that fight, dude. That would
Yeah,
be so exciting too.
the
Honestly, dude,
build
Kai
up.
Kara France is just he's so cringe, man. I can't stand him in his fight weeks with his all the antics, and I just can't stand it. It's annoying to see, dude. Super annoying to see.
Do you like
So
the that New Zealand thing where they do
no,
with the neck
that's
of
what I'm talking about. I hate it, dude. I like listen, man. I nothing against people in New Zealand. I'm sure it's a great place, but I just think maybe it's just Kai. I don't know, dude. It just really irks my soul seeing that. Hector feels the same way because we send each other that all the time.
Mm,
Um, it's just, dude, I want to see that fight. It's got so much bad blood. I just don't want it to be like the cop and Mokaev,
right.
where it's
Yeah, I
just
hope
like,
they
what are we
actually go
watching
at it.
here? But what the Kai's gonna go at it. I mean, we've seen Kai fight multiple times, and it's usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, let's make that fight. And let's put that at no, I don't know if they're going back to New Zealand. I don't know.
Well, isn't the Drickus and Strickland fight in Australia? Isn't that in Sydney or one of them?
Yep, yep, yeah.
I
It
think
actually
so.
might be. I don't know why I thought that fight was in South Africa.
Should be, but
I don't think they're ready
yes,
for that yet.
yeah, probably not.
Okay, so it might be
Well,
then. So yeah, just do it in Australia.
what was funny was I'm watching that fight with my buddy who was an Israel Adesanya super fan. So he hates Manel Kopp. He hated Makayev like he was a Makayev hater from day one. I forget what Makayev did in his UFC debut, but we were watching it and he did something that rubbed my buddy the wrong way. And he's like, "Man, fuck this guy. I don't like Makayev." And every time Makayev would fight, he's like, "Fuck him. I hope he loses." And then when Makayev's fighting Kopp, he's like, fuck, I gotta go with Makayev because fuck Manel Kopp. And then
Dude,
we're watching this fight, and he's the whole time he's hating on Manel Kopp the whole time. And then Manel Kopp does like the Izzy, like
yep,
the
behind the back.
showboat, and
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. And then when he gets the knockout, he's doing the post fight interview. He's like, I can't say bad words, but fuck Kai Kara France, fuck Israel Adesanya. I was
It's
like,
all city kickboxing, dude. I was like, what is going on? Dude, but
I was
again, dude,
losing it.
that's why we love Cop, dude, because he's just so out of pocket,
Right,
man. Like
right.
that's what we want to see. Just I'm sitting there, that's on ESPN. They're not supposed to be cussing. He's cussing. So it's like
It's
he's just so entertaining, dude. Like
he
you always
is.
want to see what he's got up his sleeve. And I
Yeah.
think him and Kai Franz line up perfectly at 4 and 6. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kai's been inactive for a while, I think, because whatever he hurt himself. That's
Mm.
why he pulled out, I think. But yeah, let's make that fight at 4 and 6. I think Manel Cop comes on top. I think he beats Kai Kara France. And then I think after that he goes, who's that two?
All right, so with Manel Kopp at 6, we got Tatsuro Taira at 5, Kai Kara France at 4, Amir Albazi at 3, Moreno at 2, and Royval at 1 with Pantoja the champ.
Give the winner of Kai Kara and Manel Cop, give him Brandon Moreno.
I like that.
Yeah,
That
I
looks like
think yeah, Kai's proved himself and Moreno is obviously a former champ and he was the king of that division for a while. So
mm.
if they can take that away from Moreno, that'd be a good competition for the champion.
Does Royval get another title shot what coming off the win against Tatsuro Taira? Do you think he's going to have to fight again before the next
Um,
flyweight championship?
I think I think he deserved it.
I agree.
He was the underdog in that fight, and this was a hyped guy that was coming in.
Hmm.
So essentially, like I said here, you're going to prove yourself against Royval.
Hmm.
And Royval came in and literally it was like a master class of MMA. Striking
Hmm.
was great. He was on the ground a lot, but he defended all the submission attempts.
Hmm.
I think he's in line, man. I wouldn't mind seeing Royval against Moreno again.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know, man. Ultimately, it's like one of those where the UFC they love Brandon Moreno.
Yeah.
You got to remember that we have a PI in Mexico now,
Hmm.
so the more they can do to get a Mexican champion out there, the better for the PI, the better for UFC,
Yeah.
because UFC is super involved in Mexico. And yeah, I mean, look at Noche UFC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the more champions, Mexican champions we can have, the better. So I do think that with this last win that Moreno had, if he's not if he's not Brandon Moreno, he's got to fight a few more times to get that title shot. I do think that they'll make Moreno with that last win. They'll throw him Royval, because Royval, you said, is ranked what, three,
Royval's one.
one? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So
Moreno
and
too.
Moreno's two. Okay. So yeah, give him Royval, run
Hmm.
that, and then literally winner, boom, you go right at it with the champion in Pantoja.
I love it. I love the way. Now the only thing we'd have to work out is the winner of Cop and Kai Car France, which you have to imagine is the fight they're going to make next. Do they fight Tatsuro Taira or Amir Albazi? Or are they going to make those guys fight each other? Like, how do you think that's going to shake out?
I, dude, man, Cop versus Albazi would be, that'd be a good one. Um, I don't know, man. It's crazy the way sometimes things work. I mean, you gotta, like Hector loves to say, styles make fights.
Hmm.
So you got to go back, and this is unrelated, but look at um, Politan, his last title defense against who was it?
Roundtree?
Roundtree, ranked eight.
Hmm.
So I mean, they can go anywhere with that. They can literally
Yeah.
make them battle it out, and the winner take on the loser of Moreno and Royval.
Hmm.
And then they just keep going on. And then Kai Kara France and Cop can fight that out. And with that winner will take on the winner of them. I don't know. It's kind of hard. But ultimately, the matchmakers obviously have been great with making those
Yeah.
those fights. They provided a barn burner for us on Saturday.
Hmm.
Um, so I think they know what they're doing, man. Obviously, they do know what they're doing. They're making millions. We're sitting here talking about it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, I think it'll be good. I do see Moreno and Royval in 2025, and I do see that the winner of them gets Pantoja again.
I like it. Yeah, we only got one more fight to cover on the main card since we already talked about the main event, but the co-main, which won fight of the night, so both guys got paid 50K. Good for them. We had
Money,
Cub
money.
Swanson knock out Billy Q, and it was a hard shot. I mean, he went down
Yep,
hard.
like
And
a straight right hand.
yeah, perfect way. And all signs point to that being Cub Swanson's final performance in the UFC. He said he told his wife it was going to be the last one. And it's one of those things where it's like, what better way to go out? I mean, do you want to come back in and risk retiring on a loss? Or do you want to
Yeah,
go out with a fight of the night? So not only a knockout, but the fight up to that point was great. So a fight of the night and a starch job in the third round. I mean, what a better way to go out. What did you think of that one?
I think here's what I think. I don't think Cub is gonna retire.
You
I
don't think?
think
Okay.
no, there's no way. Uh,
No. All right. All right.
no. He made easy work of Billy Q. He still looks like he's got it.
He does. He does.
I'm not saying he's gonna go off on a 3-fight win streak here,
Hmm.
but I do think that he can be that gatekeeper in
Okay.
a sense. Um, I do think that okay, whatever his promise to his wife. I mean, you've been a fan for a few years now, so you understand that retirement in the UFC means nothing.
Right. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people
Yeah,
retire and then
yeah.
come back in a
Unless
few
unless
months.
you make a promise to your mother, um, with the loss of your father and that whole playing a part in it, and being so close to family like Habib and his
Hmm.
promise, then I could see it being his last one. I don't think it's his last fight. He won that 50K. I don't know what he's making, but I'm sure he's up there close to like 100 grand. 100 grand a show, 100 grand to win,
Yeah.
maybe 150. It's kind of hard to pass up easy work like that, or even coming in
Hmm.
just for 300K in one night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure what he's got outside of this. I do
Well,
think Cub fights again.
well, I know he said, well, he runs a gym. So I don't know if that is another motivation to not take another fight or to retire off that one
Mm.
if he wants to dedicate himself totally to coaching. Um, but no, you make a good point. It's like if you could still do it and you've been in the UFC for how long, so you're making a good amount of money per fight.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he came back, but
Well, that's
I,
why he didn't commit to retirement. He
right.
said, "We'll think about it. We'll see what." Because I'm telling you right now, they're not going to be like, okay, Dana's the biggest one. He's like, all right, well, if you're thinking about retiring, you should retire.
Hmm.
A lot of the people that think about retiring are coming off a loss and a bad one where they look terrible.
Right.
Cub looked like prime Cub to me in
Hmm.
that co-main. Looked great. Came out there. I don't know if it was a mustache or what, dude, but he came out looking great, man. Shots looking crisp, and ultimately, dude, just made easy work of Billy Q.
Hmm.
He's still got a chin too, because Billy Q caught him a couple times and
Yeah.
came right back at him. So I do think Cubs sticks around. I'd maybe at least one more, and it'll be a fight that excites him.
Yeah.
Obviously, thinking about retiring and stuff, you're like, all right, well, maybe this stuff doesn't excite me anymore. But I do think after that, it's just gonna feel that fire that he had. That might have been just dying out.
Hmm.
That knockout right there, he's got highlight reels everywhere. That 50K, it just added that fuel, man, to the fire.
Hmm.
And I think he's rejuvenated in a sense, and I think that he's got at least one more in him because he's what 41, 40. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah,
41.
41.
Dude, look great at 41 years old, man.
Yeah.
Look at Tony. Look at Tony, and Tony's not even 40.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s. I'm not sure exactly his
Yeah,
age.
Tony's I think is 30. I think he just turned 39. And
Tony.
Cub is looking,
Oh no, Tony
yeah,
Ferguson is 40. He turned 40
okay,
in February. So yeah.
okay, all right. So yeah, he's 40. Dude, Cub's 41. Looked
Yeah.
better than Tony has looked in his last 8 fights.
Hmm.
I mean, granted, the level of competition is different,
Hmm.
but I mean, I don't know, man. I still want Tony to go out there, and it's like it's almost like he just keeps getting these guys, man, and they keep giving them killers. I know Patty is Patty, and he lost his last fight to was it Jared Gordon, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Well, he won
Um,
it, but
he lost it.
yeah.
Yeah, he
Performance
lost
wise,
it.
he
I
lost.
was there. I said Gordon got robbed.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I agree.
yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely agree with that.
So, but I mean, yeah. So technically won, but you give Tony 40-year-old guy, you give him Patty,
Hmm.
who's still trying to make a name for himself. So it's kind of like, dang, dude, give him somebody like a Billy Q or somebody like a Billy Q
Yeah.
level. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like let him get a couple wins, man. They just keep feeding him these hungry guys, man. Are
Hmm.
you Shelly Vera, Chandler? I don't know, man. We'll see. Tony will fight in 25.
Yeah.
Guess let's jump right into Connor. Connor and Logan in 25.
Yeah. Um, I think Connor's gonna smoke him. I
I
mean,
think this is stupid. I think this,
yeah, I mean, I'm not a
yeah,
fan of it either, but
yeah.
you know,
I think this is stupid. And then you go, he's just talking all this trash about Jake Paul and just making just terrible, terrible name of the Paul family, obviously the Paul brothers, I should say.
mm,
And then you go and you fight the professional boxer and Logan Paul, who is not even close to what Jake is right now.
yeah,
The skill level is just way off. Jake's up
mm,
here in terms of their fight or boxing level, and Logan's down here. I mean, Logan's fighting KSI. Yeah, he fought Mayweather. That fight was it was a cash grab, dude.
yeah,
Um, Mayweather definitely took it easy on him. Um, but Logan's one of those where you fight and it's like you can tell like they're just not going in on each other.
hmm,
Jake's actually going in there and kind of brawling a little bit.
yeah,
Um, I'm still undecided how I feel about them. I do give them credit regardless because they are stepping in the ring and
yeah,
you know it's not easy. If it was, everybody would be doing it. So props to the Paul brothers. But Connor, I think, goes in there and somehow, some way they'll work it to where it's an exhibition, so it's not a professional fight.
oh, okay, yeah, I
So
didn't see
that,
any of the
yeah, it's an
details on
exhibition,
that.
literally an
Okay,
exhibition. So there's not going to be a winner or a loser.
hmm,
So I don't think they're going to be like, okay, so even if Connor doesn't do good, he can be, oh yeah, I won that round, that round, that round.
Mhm.
it's probably gonna be an 8 round boxing match, and it's not worth it, dude. Connor's just wasting time. He should be fighting Chael in the UFC.
I agree. Yeah, I think what it boils down to for me is like it's Conor McGregor, so we're gonna tune in. We're gonna watch it just to see what happens. But yeah, would much rather him announce a UFC fight. But it's at this point, I don't know where that's gonna go. Hopefully, we get to see Conor in the UFC octagon one more time at least. But yeah, yeah, not I'm not terribly excited about it, but I'm gonna tune in. I'm gonna watch it. Unless I have to pay for it, then I probably won't.
Yeah,
I'll just watch the
I'll
highlights on X.
yeah, I'll tune in if it's I don't know, man. I'm just so disappointed with the whole Connor thing. Dude, he's another one like Kobe, just blowing all his time.
Yeah,
Dude, go
yeah,
fight somebody. He's always talking about he wants activity. He's begging in the media. I want activity. Give me activity. There's plenty of guys that would love to fight him right now.
without a
Even
doubt.
fight RDA.
Dan Hooker.
Go fight Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, that would be a money.
Dude,
That would be the match to make.
exactly. Get Tony paid, man.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wrap it up with this. Next week, since there's no UFC this Saturday, next week we could break down our favorite matchups on the first card of the year and the first pay-per-view, what we're excited to see, and just take it from there and get prepped for what is shaping up to be one of the best years in recent memories, 2025 UFC. We're all excited. Guys, thank you for watching if you made it this far. We're having a blast doing this. It's great to do it every week. Great to chop it up. Abe, got anything else?
All good, man. See you guys next week.
See you then.